तुलसी देवी की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री हरनाम संकीर्तन याज्ञा की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, इस्कॉन वर्तमान गुरुविंद की जय, इस्कॉन ट्रांसडेंटल बुक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gaura. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Shri Guru Vanu, the lotus feet of our spiritual master, are the only way by which we can obtain universal success. Our wish is by His grace one across the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from His lotus mouth. At perfect His lotus feet is the perfection that fills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From Him can start directly my minutes. By Him my ignorance is destroyed. The very scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. May we maintain the idea of all over the three worlds. Protection of your lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada. Gita Pavana Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Who put the verse on board?
I was asked last minute not to use it. Vai seguir a sequência aí?
Vai.
Vou tentar minha glasses, quem sabe.
18. 27, 18.
Not 17?
27, yes.
Okay. Oh.
18. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Bhajajanna Ranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandanam Bhajanaranjanam Yamunatira Manachari Yamunatira Manachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Bhajanaranjana Yamunatira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Bhajanaranjanam Yashodanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Vajakacharya Suttara Shatta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhai Charanavinda Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON and BBT Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ji Ki Gauda Permanente All glories assembly devotees All glories assembly devotees All glories assembly devotees All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudiraye Nashta Praisha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki Vatan Swakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtan Haridana Sohya Bhadrani Vidhunot Sutsatan Krishna Swadhama Pagate Dharma Gyan Visaha Kalonasta Misha Misha Puranar Kwanulotitaha Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 27, Verse 18. Title of chapter is Attack by Chandavega on the city of King Puranjana, the karate of Kalakanya.
Which chapter?
27. Repeat after me. Sa Eva Puryam Madhubuk Saeva Puryam Madhubuk Saeva Puryam Madhubuk Panchaleshu Svaparshadaihi Panchaleshu Svaparshadaihi Panchaleshu Svaparshadaihi Upanitam Balim Grinam Upanitam Balim Grinam Upanitam Balim Grinam Strijito Navidad. Navidad is like Christmas in Spanish. Bhayam Strijito Navidad Bhayam Strijito Navidad Bhayam Saeva Puryam Madhubuk Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi Upanidam Balingrinam Strijito Navidad Bhayam.
Saeva Puryam Madhubuk Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Upanitam Balingrinam
Upanitam Balingrinam
Strijito Navidad Bhayam.
Saeva Puryam Madhubuk
Saeva Puryam Madhubuk
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Upanitam Balingrinam
Upanitam Balingrinam
Strijito Navidad Bhayam
Strijito Navidad Bhayam.
Saeva Punyam Madhubuk
Saeva Puryam Madhubuk
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Upanitam Balingranam
Upanitam Balingrinam
Strijito Navidad Bhayam
Strijito Navidad Bhayam.
Saeva Punyam Madhubuk
Saeva Puryam Madhubuk
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Panchaleshu Swaparshadaihi
Upanitam Balingranam
Upanitam Balingrinam
Strijito
Navidad Bhayam. Word by word. Saha He Eva Certainly
Certainly
Puryam within the city. Madhubuk enjoy sex life. Panchaleshu in the kingdom of Panchala, 5 sense objects.
in the kingdom of
The body is Swaparshadaihi along with his followers.
along with his followers.
Upanitam brought. Baling Texas. Grinam accepting. Strijitaha conquered by women.
Conquered by women.
Yeah. Under control by women. Na did not. Avidat understand. Bhayam fear of death.
Fear of death.
Bhaya. Translation from Sanskrit to English. King Puranjana collected taxes in the city now as Panchala and thus was able to engage in sexual indulgence. Being completely under the control of women, he could not understand that his life was passing away and that he was reaching the point of death. Let's go repeat together. King Puranjana collect taxes
King Puranjana collected taxes
in the city known as Panchala, and thus was able to engage in sexual indulgence. Being completely under the control of women, he could not understand that his life was passing. Passing away, and that he was reaching the point of death. Purport by His Divine Grace Pai Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Government men, including kings, presidents, secretaries, and ministers, are in position to utilize taxes collected from the citizens for sense gratification. It started in Srimad Bhagavatam that in this Kali Yuga, government men, Rajanis, and those connected with the government, as well as exalted government ministers, secretaries, and presidents, will all simply collect taxes for sense gratification. The government is top-heavy, and without increasing taxes, the government cannot maintain itself. When taxes are collected, they are utilized for the sense gratification of the government officials. Such irresponsible politicians forget that there is a time when death will come to take away all their sense gratification. Some of them are convinced that after life everything is finished. This atheistic theory was conceived long ago by a philosopher called Charvaka Muni. Charvaka recommended that man should live life very opulently by either being boring or stealing. Yeah, very peaceful life. He also maintained that one should not be afraid of death, the next life, the past life, or an impious life, because after the body is burned to ashes, everything is finished. The philosophy of nowadays. This is the philosophy of those who are too much materially addicted. Such philosophy will not save one from the danger of death, nor will it save one from an abominable afterlife. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritan Jana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistan Staptan Yena Bhutale Swayanupakada Mahyan Dadat Svapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachari Shatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Tat Sat Saiva Puryam Madhubuk Panchaleshu Swaparshadahi Upanitam Balim Grinam Srijito Navida Bhayan. King Puranjana collected taxes in the city known as Panchala, and thus was able to engage in sexual indulgence. Being completely under the control of women, he could not understand that his life was passing away and that he was reaching the point of death. Hare Krishna. Good morning to everyone. Thanks for coming to Srimad Bhagavatam class. I will start with a translation by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur for the same verse. Open quote. The king enjoying insignificant pleasures in the city along with his followers. controlled by women, accepting taxes brought from the 5 provinces. What is the 5 provinces? Is the Panchala, the city of 5 senses. Because from the senses, the mind can get in contact with the world, with the senses object. Did not know fear. Yes, sometimes fear is a contamination, of course. The pure soul, the pure consciousness don't have fear, but sometimes in this world, fear can be very used, very, very good, because fear of that can produce questions, can produce a search for self-realization. Yes. Why I need death? This is not a good idea. How can I solve this problem of death? Yes, I have a fear of this death. I will search a solution for this. But the materialists don't have fear. Yes, because the senses gratification is too much that we forget about this. Then, in the last chapter 26 of the story of Puranjana, we find the queen Puranjani devastated and thrown to the ground. Yes, on the ground with the hair disaligned, a mess. In a clear attempt to emotionally blackmail her husband, who identifies with the situation and says, open quote, for King Puranjana, my dear queen, due to my sinful desires, I went to the forest to hunt without asking you, without your permission. Therefore, I must admit that I have offended you. Nonetheless, thinking of me as your most intimate subordinated, you should still be very much pleased with me. Factually, I am very much beloved, but being pierced by the arrow of Cupid, I am feeling lust. But where is the beautiful woman who would give up her lust husband and refused to unite with him? This was the last verse of the previous chapter 26. At the beginning of Puranjana's allegory, Narada Muni warned about the cruelty and needlessness of killing animals. But why was it necessary? Why the Vedas recommended, especially for householders, especially for kings, the yagyas with when the yagyas killing animals? In Vedic culture, especially the powerful kings, when they wanted to accumulate wealth, they resorted to the practice of different yagyas. Open quote, this is chapter 27, verse 11. Like you, King Puranjana also became implicated in so many desires. Thus, we worshipped demigods, forefathers, and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all very ghastly because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. So, by these yagyas, everything, wealth, opulence coming for the king, for the householder. And when the materialist man have money, what he do? Sense gratification. This is a very, very visible rule in material world. Just a corrupt ruler exploit his citizens through taxation. A more religious way to achieve opulence in Vedic culture would be through different yagyas. And both in Vedic and current culture, monetary opulence is used to buy the greatest of all sense gratifications, that is, which is sexual pleasure. In the material world, due to the mode of passion, subtly, everything has sexual pleasure as its final purpose. Yes? Everything that we see in this world go around to the sexual pleasure. This is very easy to understand. Yes? The media, the magazines, the TV shows, everything shows the beautiful women, the beautiful body of men, and many things like cars, like Ferrari, like restaurants, like wine. Yes, when the turkey is drunk, it is more easy to kill the turkey. So all these things is to finally in the bed on the sexual pleasure. All things have this like go in material life. So after condemning the killing of animals in this 26, 27 chapter, Narada Muni comes to warn the king and us to about the danger of sexual indulgence or sexual activity without Krishna conscious purpose. So Narada Muni explained about the dangers of killing animals, and now he will explain about the dangers of sexual life. These two things is too much strong to entangle the Jivatma in the cycle of birth and death. The wisdom of the Bhagavatam shows us a very characteristic pattern of behavior when both men and women want to enjoy sexual intercourse. The woman, in order to control her partner, puts herself in a position of a helpless victim, often even resorting to crying, as Lord Shiva says. This quote, Sati felt very sorry at being forbidden to go see her relatives at her father's house, and due to affection for them, tears fell from her eyes. Shaken, very much afflicted, she looked at her uncommon husband, Lord Shiva, as if she were going to blast him with her vision. Yes? Even Sati, that is a great personality, stay dominated by anger against Lord Shiva, that is a real gentleman, because the affection for his parents. And to bring attention for smell the heart of Lord Shiva, what she do? She crying. This is Prabhupada purport. And his commentary of this verse, Prabhupada endorses. Open quote of Prabhupada. Since Lord Shiva could not be persuaded to give her permission, Sati took shelter of a woman's last weapon, which forces a husband to agree to the proposal of his wife. But the man body, man psychology heavy or weakness also. The male personality, on the other hand, often comical and pathetic, submits to all the whims of a female mind, not to protect her or take care of her well-being, but in a hide and calculated way to achieve his final objective, that is the selfish sexual pleasure. All compliments, all gentle behavior, courtships and gifts given by the male are ultimately in exchange for the sexual act. Because this is very evident in the relationship between Puranjani and Puranjana. This is very evident in the material world, men and women, like cheater and cheating, the exploited relationship. How is this? Cheater and cheating?
Cheater and cheated.
Cheater and cheated. Yeah, this is the movement and material world. So we have the premise that will guide this entire chapter 27, already given in the first verse by Narada Muni, first verse of this chapter. The great sage Narada Muni continued, open quote, "My dear king, after bewildering her husband in different ways and bringing him under her control, the wife of King Puranjana gave him all satisfaction and joy sex life with him." This was verse 1. One of the consequences of sexual life devoid of spiritual purpose is forgetfulness. This is the characteristic of this material world, this planet. Amrita is the forgetfulness is the main characteristic of this material world, due to the concealment of the potency of Maya. Maya causes forgetfulness. The living entity forgets the true purpose of human life. What is this purpose? Self-realization. Open quote. Thus King Puranjana became very much captivated by his beautiful wife and deviated from his good sense. He forgot that the passing of days and nights meant that his span of life was being reduced without profit. In this way, he considered women to be his ultimate life and soul. Yes, the more important thing in his life, of the life of materialist people. Becoming thus overwhelmed by the mode of ignorance, he could not understand the meaning of self-realization, whether regarding his own self or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This was verse 3 and 4. Without the basis of a spiritual life, the arrival of old age is very hard. Yes? The consequence that materialist peoples wasted their life in sexual life and all these material pleasures, and suddenly the old age coming. Yes, now I have 15, but this passed so quickly, yes, so fast. Here, compared with an army of Gandharvas led by Chandavega. Chandavega symbolizing the passage of the time that devours everything. Old age takes the ignorant man by surprise, without preparation, which only passes to regret, remorse, and lamentation. Yes, the Kala, time is like a serpent, snake that devours everything. This is the analogy that Krishna given in Bhagavad Gita. From the age of 50, the body begins to decay, especially sometimes before. And as the body is vital for sexual performance, yes, the body is nice, sexual life is nice. The living entity within the body becomes bitter and frustrated, remembering only its youth when it was happy. Prabhupada comment about this age, open quote, commentary by Prabhupada, verse 15. Up to the age of 50, one can actively work for sense gratification, but after the 50th year, one's energy decreases, although one can with great strength work for 2 or 3 more years. Perhaps up to the 50th year. Thus, the 55th year is generally taken by governmental regulations as the final year for retirement. Yes, and one of the consequences of Kali Yuga that the people's more and more time will work more and more and more. We saw recently in France, yes, when the government wanted put to year to retire. Thank you. For 65 years. It's too much. It's too much. Kali Yuga, the peoples will work each time more and more and more. This is the consequence of the advance of Kali Yuga. The energy which is fatigued after 50 years is figuratively described here as a serpent with 5 hoods. Serpent with 5 hoods is the prana. The prana after 50 suffer too much. Then without energy, but still with sexual appetite. Yes, this is one setting in material world. I have a lot of fear of this because sometimes we see men with 7, 18 years with the sexual desire, yes, but the boring not help, but the great science of the Western world is created a medicine like Viagra to make opposite to this. Yeah, if we fail in control the senses, and we keep in these desires continue. Yes, the mind not fatigued. The mind not the mind continues strong if you feed the mind. If you not control the senses, the vital breath, the energy of the body, puts up an inglorious struggle with the decrepit condition of the body, which is attacked by the Gandharva of time, Chandavega. And for finalize this, I bring the verses taught by Vidura to Dhritarashtra, because Dhritarashtra was in the same situation, but Dhritarashtra was attached to the home. Yes, he kept in the palace with the Pandavas, with Bhima. Bhimasena killed all his sons, and he stayed in the same situation in this palace. Okay, this is quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, verses 70, 21, 22. Insurmountable, eternal time imperceptibly overcomes those who are too much attached to family affairs and are always engrossed in their thought. Your father, brother, well-wishers, and sons are all dead and passed away. You yourself have spent the major portion of your life. Your body is now overtaken by invalidity, and you are living in the home of another. You have been blind from your very birth, and recently you have become hard of hearing. Yes, your memory is shortened, and your intelligence is disturbed. Your teeth are loose. Your liver is defective, and you are clogging up mucus. Yes, it's very clear the condition of the body when it is attached by the Chandavega. Chandavega is the Kala, the eternal time. The Prana, the serpent with 5 heads. Try fighting, but it's very inglorious battle. Okay. Prabhupada mentioned in the purport about Charvaka Muni. I will speak 5 minutes about him. First, before we understand Charvakamuni, we need to understand the Shadarshans. Indian continent is very rich about philosophy. Yes, the envious is Spanish. The envious philosophers in Western countries said, and India don't have philosophy. India have only prayer, only prayer. I heard one time this in university. But India is a very fertile field of philosophy. Jai Shri Ganata Shri Baladev Shrimati Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Nitai Ki Jai. And especially in after Krishna's time, when Krishna was in planet 5,000 years ago, we have these philosophies, Shadarshans, like six philosophers, six philosophy system, and we can call it of modern philosophy, yes, if you consider the historical line of India. First, we need to understand the system of modern philosophy in India, or Sadarshans. Shad means six, Darshan means point of view. The Shadarshans are called Astika philosophies, from Asti or it is so, because they all recognize the Vedas as authoritative, as opposed to the Nastika philosophies. What is the Nastika philosophy? This is a philosophy of Charvakamuni, Buddhism and Jainism. Nasti, not so. Why? Because they rejected the Vedas, rejected the conclusion is the Vedas. And what main portion that they rejected the Vedas, especially about the Jivatma, the soul. They don't recognize the presence of Jivatma in Buddhism, in Charvaka, in Jainism. Starting with Nyaya, each of the Sadarshans in turn presents a more developed and comprehensive explanation of Vedic knowledge. This is from the book of Suhotra Maharaj. I think this book was from 80s or 90s. And the title of this book is Shadarshana. Thus, we can say that the philosophies of Shadarshana are orthodox because follow the Vedas, follow the Siddhanta of the Vedas, while Buddhism, Jainism and Charvakamuni are heterodox because they do not accept the conclusion of the Vedas. Prabhupada explained about the Charvakamuni. Open quote for Prabhupada, lecture in Seattle, October 9, 1968. There are three processes everywhere. Somebody throws away for being eaten up by birds, or somebody puts within the ground, or somebody burns it. So Charvakamuni says that after burning this body, who is coming and who is responsible? Yes. Who is the people of have experience? You see, you live merely as far as possible. Rinam kritva grihitam pibet. If you have no money, then borrow or steal, but live very nicely for sense pleasure. Yes, Charvakamuni not consider any kind of Shastra, and your philosophy came from your mind. Yes, totally speculation, and not exist soul, not exist life after death. Yes. And you need the enjoy of the senses, the unique reality, the unique pramana the unique knowledge valid is the senses, by the senses. Empirism. That is the Charvakamuni theory, and mostly at the present moment that theory is being followed. Yeah, it's very prominent nowadays. You have to accept knowledge from the authority. Yes, this is a main point in Vedic knowledge. You accepted the Guru accepted the Parampara, and the Parampara came from Krishna. Krishna is the first authority. The peoples nowadays, because the false ego is very prominent in nowadays, people's like of be independent. I want to be independent. I want to be free. Free from who? Free for what? Yes, you cannot be free from the rules of the world. If you jump from the building with 20 stars, what will be happen? You will go down and smash it, because have a thing called gravity force that is smashing your body on the ground. So the world have your rules, the nature have your rules. Birth, disease, death, old age. Yes. You can be free of these things. When the people's plan about free means free for sense gratification. Yes, freedom for sense gratification. This is not knowledge. This is ignorance. This is tamas, darkness. But there are many proofs that there is next life. So who will accept Charvakamuni's theory? Nobody, no sane man will accept it. Krishna mentioned a kind of Charvakamuni philosophy in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 26, chapter 2. When Krishna and Prabhupada in commentary, in purport, Prabhupada explain about the Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. Vaibhashikas can be like Buddhism, and Lokayatikas, this is Charvakamuni, or be. What means this? That in the time of Krishna we have a structure of these kinds of these philosophers. The point is, material world don't have nothing of new. Yes, everything is the same, but in a new package. Yes, but when you study the philosophy, Western philosophy, is the same thing, the same premises. When one became intelligence, wisdom, they see this regularity in material world. Yes, the same thing. Every time, yes, like when you chew a bubble gum and chew and don't have more sweet taste, but you continues. Yes, this is the hopeless of the materialist. Yes, in the future I will get this taste again, but not. Okay. I will finish him. If you have a comment or criticize.
Question also?
10 pounds.
Okay, you can give me later.
This is like the Western scientists. Yes, in the future I will give to you. Yes, like a check in white.
So, question is. We know there are the 4 sampradayas.
Yes.
Coming from the 4 Kumaras, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi Devi, and Brahma. Where do all these other philosophies come from?
Very nice question. These have your development parallels. Yes. Special our 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, these sampradayas came answer to Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya, around 200 years after Jesus Christ, give a powerful interpretation to Vedanta Sutra. This is Shairaka Bhashya, but this is an impersonal explanation about the Vedanta Sutra. So, after this came Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, and another Vaishnava philosophers to give a real explanation of the Vedanta Sutra. The Shadarshans is different views of the Vedas. All things that explain in the Shadarshans are in the Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata Purana is a conclusion, is the rapid fruit of the Vedas. It's the Siddhanta. All perfect conclusions of the Vedas are in the Bhagavata Purana. For example, and the Vedas have logic, Nyaya, but this stage isolated comment about Nyaya, or in Vaisheshika, that is Thomism, we have explanation about the atoms in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. What more? Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga. We have Ashtanga Yoga in the Vedas. Yes, Dattatreya explain about the yoga system. Krishna explain about the yoga system, 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita in a resume in a summary way. Why? Because these have on the Vedas. Yes, Krishna ever follow Vedas. Krishna mentioned the Vedanta Sutra many times in 11th chapter, in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What more? Sankhya. Who is give Sankhya in Bhagavatam? Viradeva. The difference that these matter are in the Vedas and these sages explain, but when these systems are in Bhagavata Purana or in Bhagavad Gita, they connect with the bhakti, connect with devotional service. So we have different views, different wisdom in Shadarshans, but in Bhagavata Purana, in Bhagavad Gita, we collect all these views and go to bhakti. This is the perfection, yes. This is the perfection of Bhagavad Purana and the Bhagavad Gita. They get all different philosophies, social system like Varnashram Dharma, and resuming in a way that go to bhakti, go to Krishna, because Krishna is the main point of all knowledge, yes? How is the verse? Verse 15 of chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. No, this is the 10:8. Krishna explains in this verse that he is the goal of all knowledge. Get Bhagavad Gita.
15.
Yeah.
Sarvasya.
Yes, thank you. Krishna is the goal of all knowledge, yes. So, in the Shadarshans, in different moments of history, Indian history, we have sages that produce these philosophies. But in Vedas, in Bhagavata Purana, in Bhagavad Gita, we have this resumed in all together with the final of glorification Bhakti, have the connection with Bhakti. Because if the philosophy or thinking or knowledge are connected, don't Don't wait to bhakti. This is imperfect because Krishna is the goal. Krishna is the main point of all understanding, all philosophy, all thinking. This is the perfection of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Everything is in the right way. Yes, like a house mother. Yes, when you go to the house mother, everything is very in your right place. Yes, the sofa, the stove, everything is very, very nice, accommodated. Very nice, accommodated, very nice, clean. This is the house mother. This is bhakti. Everything in your right place, right position. But if you go to the junkie's house, the junkie department is dirty, is a complete mess. Yes, this is the bhakti. This is the philosophy, the structure of thinking in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything is in the right place, like a mother's house. Yes. When we connect with the philosophy, bhakti philosophy, we are feeling. Yes, we are feeling very nice. Yes, very peaceful, very, this is the right thing. Yes, nothing is less here. Yes, everything is here. This is bhakti, and different knowledge is subservient. Karma, jnana, yoga. Remember the yoga. There are different stairs, different steps to bhakti. Bhakti is the complete. Everything need room, need to go to the bhakti. Okay? And same thing happens in the 4 sampradayas. Each sampradaya have a relevant point. In Lord Chaitanya, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the Acharya. Krishna always respected the real Acharya. In the Lord Chaitanya condense in different points of the different sampradayas in the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. That is the perfect explanation about Jiva, about Prakriti, and about Brahman. Same thing. Yes, Krishna is the person that accommodates everything. Yes, like a big family. Yes, Krishna accommodates every relatives in the same house. Okay, my time is finished. This satisfied?
Yes.
Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada
Maha Krishna Prabhu ki jai.
Yes, tem falso.
So I have to give you.
Oh. I'm a bigger.
You're bigger.
Bigger.
No, bigger.
I don't have money, I'm bigger.
Jai.
the big one. Something different. And alarm at 4 o'clock. Just wake up and see all hell, all stuff, hell. So I took it's 5:20. 5:20. And I came here 5:45. I was still here. I don't everything myself.
But not judging.
5:45 I came, 5:50 I came inside and fasted.
But just yourself? Just yourself?
Yeah. Okay. Those who know that, not that you also listen. It's very nice learning to me because when I'm starting also 5 o'clock, it's also take
He's teaching you that you can be fast.
Be fast. Because that's, I think that is fun to do.
So if you have 40.
Always I'm doing focus one hour
Yes.
something, sometimes little more fun.
But the judges usually you would think up.
Behind I saw some 2-3 weeks before somebody else also looked like this, like
And do you put thread on the baldest? Self-responsibility that they fix the turban with some thread so it doesn't move.
with thread from the over, from the I
think I'm once or twice
sometimes it's the turban is not so tight, that's true. I also sometimes when I do and after coming like this, so tight like but I never tight like with thread.
But also if you put it very tight, right?
Yeah, I'm always try to put very tight this turban also depends on clothes. Some clothes they are not made so best, So next time I have to do more opulence. So one hour. Yeah. Thank you.
Ja, zijn het nagegaan?
Also ich kann euch hier noch meine Gebetskette zeigen.
Wollt ihr euch am Boden setzen?
Ihr könnt euch setzen, kommt ein bisschen näher und setzt euch. Genau, also das ist diese Gebetskette, die hat 108 Perlen dran plus eine 109. Auf diese meditieren wir nicht, aber auf den 108 anderen Perlen. Und ihr seht jetzt vielleicht, wenn ihr durchs Haus geht, noch den einen oder anderen Tempelbewohner, der noch am Meditieren ist. Meistens, weil sie am Morgen beschäftigt waren mit anderen Diensten, zum Beispiel in der Küche oder auf dem Altar. Wenn wir im Tempel wohnen, dann haben wir am Morgen eine fixe Zeit, wenn wir Zeit haben für die Meditation. Wir stehen morgens bezeiten auf, duschen, so dass wir um 4:30 bereit sind, um im Tempelraum für die erste Zeremonie. Und danach zwischen so 5:45, 5:30 bis um 7 Uhr haben wir Zeit für die Meditation. Und dann gibt es das nächste Programm hier im Tempel und gefolgt dann von einer Vorlesung. Das ist das, was noch am Laufen war, als ihr gekommen seid. Und jetzt gibt es Frühstück für die Tempelbewohner. Genau. Wie gesagt, wir gehen ja davon aus, dass Krishna eine Person ist. Jetzt, wenn ihr auf den Altar schaut, wer ist denn jetzt Krishna? Also ihr seht verschiedene Figuren. Und welche von all denen ist denn jetzt der Krishna? Ja.
Der mit den Haaren.
Der linke oder der rechte? Rechts. Mhm. Sagt ihr irgendwas anderes? Ja?
Der rechts in der Mitte.
Rechts in der Mitte in Orange?
Ja.
Aha. Ich sage auch.
Das ist der Elefant, kann ich nicht.
Das ist schon also, ja? Auf dem Bild? Ja. Erkennst du, was auf dem Bild ist? Nicht so genau, gell? Also, es ist so, wir verehren eigentlich nur Krishna, sind also sogenannt eine monotheistische oder henotheistische Religion, je nachdem, wie man das klassifizieren will. Aber wir kennen Krishna in ganz unterschiedlichen Formen. So wie ihr kennt eure Lehrerin, so wie sie hier ist, aber vielleicht ist eure Lehrerin auch begeisterte Tänzerin. Oder vielleicht habt ihr sie aber noch nie gesehen in ihrem Tanzoutfit, oder? Vielleicht ist sie eine ganz andere Person, wenn sie am Tanzen ist. Vielleicht ist sie auch eine ganz andere Person, wenn sie haben sie Kinder oder mit ihren eigenen Kindern, oder? Ihre eigenen Kinder werden wahrscheinlich ein ganz anderes Bild haben von ihnen als ihre Schüler. So, wer weiß. So, und Krishna hat auch verschiedene Formen, wie er sich den Leuten zeigt. So, auf der rechten Seite seht ihr Jagannath in schwarz. Das ist eigentlich eine Form direkt von Krishna. Und zwar, wenn ihr so Comics oder Trickfilme anschaut und eine Figur ist verliebt, wie wird das zeichnerisch dargestellt, wenn jemand verliebt ist? Wie würdet ihr jemanden zeichnen, der verliebt ist? Eine Comicfigur? Ja?
Mit Herzen.
Mit Herzli, so. Genau. Große Augen und so. Diese Form ist eine Form von Krishna, in der er sich freut, dass ihr alle hier seid, ihn zu besuchen. So, und aus leichter Freude hat er diesen großen Lachen im Gesicht, diese großen Augen. In Weiß daneben, das ist sein Bruder. Krishna hat einen Bruder, Balaram, und in der Mitte ist die Schwester Subhadra. Und auf der linken Seite habt ihr zwei Formen von Krishna, wo Krishna eigentlich, wenn ich davon ausgehe, dass Krishna Gott ist, dann ist eine Eigenschaft von ihm, dass er allwissend ist, oder? Dass er alles weiß und alles kann. So. Und Krishna hat aber gemerkt, hey, ich weiß alles und ich kann alles, aber das Einzige, was ich nicht weiß, ich weiß nicht, wie es sich anfühlt, auf der anderen Seite zu sein. Also nicht der verehrte Gott zu sein, sondern der verehrende Diener zu sein. Und weil er das herausfinden wollte, hat er sich neu inkarniert und ist als Chaitanya Mahaprabhu auf diese Erde gekommen und hat ein Leben als Mönch und Gelehrter gelebt und so erfahren, wie es ist, auf dieser anderen Seite zu stehen. Und weil Krishna nie ohne seinen Bruder kommt, ist Balaram in seinem Bruder Nityananda hingekommen. Ja.
Aber haben Sie echt ausgesehen? Also seine Geschwister.
Genau, also es ist eben diese Momentaufnahme, es ist wie wenn du an Karneval ein Foto machst, oder? Dann bist auch du das, aber auch nicht, oder? So, die eigentliche Form von Krishna seht ihr auf diesen beiden Bildern, mit einem Jüngling mit blauer Haut, gelben Doten, Faunfeder im Haar, das sind die Formen von Krishna. Genau, ja.
Sie haben ja Kinder.
Ja.
Müssen Ihre Kinder dann auch die gleiche Religion haben?
Meine Kinder müssen gar nichts. Es ist so, dass ich meinen Eltern extrem dankbar bin, dass sie mir diese Freiheit gelassen haben, die Religion zu finden, die zu mir passt. Und ich erziehe meine Kinder im besten Wissen und Gewissen, das, was meine Wertvorstellungen von diesem Leben sind. Aber wie sie sich eines Tages entscheiden wollen, das ist ihr Ding. Also das müssen sie selber wissen. Wir kochen zu Hause zum Beispiel kein Fleisch. Was meine Tochter isst, wenn sie in der Schule ist, that's her problem. So, das muss sie selber wissen.
Aber
ja, was wollte ich? Ja, aber? Ja?
da ist zu Hause kein Fleisch ist.
Zu Hause gibt es einfach kein Fleisch.
Und wenn sie mal Fleisch isst, was essen sie?
Ja, was würde passieren? Ja, gute Frage. Ich weiß es nicht, ich habe es nicht ausprobiert. Ja.
Sie kurze Frage, ist das nicht Vishnu?
Das ist so eine, nein, es ist Krishna, aber Krishna und Vishnu sind eigentlich gleich, aber trotzdem nicht gleich. Es ist so eine große alte theologische Streitfrage, ob Krishna eine Unterform von Vishnu ist oder ob Vishnu eine andere Form von Krishna ist. Ja.
Wenn zum Beispiel Ihr Kind jetzt mit Döner nach Hause kommt,
Ja.
sie ist wegrühren.
Ich glaube nicht, dass sie es will machen. Aber
Wieso darf sie kein Fleisch essen?
sie darf, aber sie macht es nicht, sie will es nicht. Also sie hatte genügend Gelegenheiten, sie geht mit ihrer beste Freundin ist Muslima und die gehen regelmäßig zusammen in Döner, zum Döner-Imbiss. Und die Freundin, die isst dann da halt einen Döner und meine Tochter, die isst dann halt eine Falafelbox oder sowas.
Das ist wie die Frage, Adi, wenn du als Moslem Schweinefleisch aus Versehen essen würdest, was würde passieren?
Ja, nicht.
Also, müsstest du etwas machen, ein Gebet sagen oder dich irgendwie reinigen?
Nein.
Also.
Genau. Also es ist so, dass es ganz strikte Hindus gibt in Indien, die es als Verunreinigung anschauen, wenn sie nur schon aus einem Teller essen, auf dem irgendwann mal Fleisch serviert wurde. Und die machen dann wirklich ewig lange Reinigungsrituale, um von dieser Verunreinigung wieder frei zu werden. Hier im Westen ist dieses Verhalten so kompliziert, dass es nicht alltagstauglich ist. So, wir sind da ein bisschen pragmatischer. So, genau. Gut, ich habe noch was für euch vorbereitet im anderen Raum, ihr dürft mal drüben kommen. Oder habt ihr hier noch eine Frage?
Nein.
Das war dann super, ihr hattet Vishnu als Futter.
Und gerne die Vorteile sind morgen.
Also morgen kriegst du
Ja, aber wir haben Essen.
aber
Macht es 20 Jahre von mir.